You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Young and the Restless fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I want to talk about if Christine is going to target Summer Newman because Phyllis is going to avoid jail for all these charges that the DA is hoping to throw at her. Right now, Christine Williams cannot wait to see handcuffs slapped on Phyllis Summers. She has wanted to see Phyllis behind bars ever since she found out that Phyllis was the one who ran her down years ago in a jealous rage and tried to kill her. And then Christine was further infuriated when she finally found out it was Phyllis that did it, but the statute of limitations had expired, and so she couldn't prosecute her. And so finally, the Genoa City DA thinks she's got this chance to put Phyllis away. She is gleeful, but it looks like things are not going to go the way that Cricket wants. And if Phyllis can avoid any jail time or almost all of jail time, Christine may decide to punish Summer Newman and throw the book at her instead. Let's dig into this. But first, if you haven't, please click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates, news, and spoilers. And now let's dig in. So currently, Summer is very upset that her marriage has paid the price for her loyalty to her mom, Phyllis. And when they were talking in the park, Phyllis makes this passing remark, kind of like, oh, I sort of blame myself for your marriage breaking up. And Summer's like, yeah, because it's your fault. My marriage broke up. It was really funny. Summer doesn't even pull any punches in this scene. She's like, yeah, you screwed up my marriage. And the stink coming off this whole Phyllis situation is going to cling to Summer for a while longer. And the reality is she could still face jail charges even if Phyllis somehow skates, thanks to what is coming soon, a miracle, in fact, that is about to do a Hail Mary and save Phyllis from what could have been years behind bars. So it looks like Phyllis is arrested on Friday, July 14th, and that's because the official Y&R spoilers for that day say that Christine Williams is thrilled. Nothing thrills Christine more than the idea of punishing Phyllis for old and current crimes. I don't think she cares as much about her current crimes. I just think she thinks that Phyllis should pay for her past crimes, which ironically is part of why Phyllis is angry at Diane, because Diane didn't pay for her old past crimes. Yet, if you ask Christine, she has that same outlook on Phyllis. If you don't remember, Phyllis got behind the wheel of a car and intentionally tried to run over Christine. She was in a fit of rage and decided to try and kill her. Yes, she was trying to kill her, only Paul Williams knocked her out of the way, and he was the one who was hit instead. But realistically, that was attempted murder, and Phyllis has never paid for it, much as Diane has never paid for faking her own death and setting things up with Deacon so that several people in Genoa City were arrested. So for all those people saying that what Phyllis has done with faking her death this time is not as bad as what Diane did, I will agree with you. However, what Phyllis did to Christine was worse. She just outright tried to kill her. So don't forget that. If you have only come into Young and the Restless in the last few years, even the last decade, that's an important nugget that you might not know. So what DA Christine Williams does not know right now is that Tucker McCall beat everybody to the punch, and he found that EMT Carson, and he is going to bribe the guy to do what he wants. And what he wants is for him to exonerate Phyllis and make it look like she was Jeremy Stark's victim and not his co-conspirator. And that should really tank Christine's case against Phyllis. If that case crashes and burns, Christine is going to completely lose it. Right now, she smells blood in the water like that shark from Jaws. She's just cruising up and down the beach, just waiting to chomp on Phyllis. But even if Phyllis gets out of this jail situation because of Tucker's manipulations and Michael Baldwin being a top-notch lawyer, I cannot imagine Christine dropping the matter, and instead, she could turn the full weight of the district attorney's office against Summer instead. She could try and ramp up the charges against Summer, knowing that it will hurt Phyllis, and I think Christine could absolutely be that petty. Christine can be petty where Phyllis is concerned, and she's not wrong to still harbor this grudge against Phyllis trying to kill her. I mean, Phyllis is still holding a grudge against Diane for, Diane trying to set her up for murder charges, and Phyllis actually tried to do the murder. So, what's sad about this is Summer has never wronged Christine, but that doesn't mean that Cricket will take that into consideration. So the reason that Tucker is helping Phyllis is not because he gives two shakes about Phyllis. I don't think he gives two shakes about Diane or about any of their little revenge games. What it is about making Ashley Newman happy, because if Ashley is happy, then Tucker is happy because she's in his bed and she's spending time with him, and he doesn't want her focused on revenge. He wants her focused on him. However, we also know that at the best of times, Tucker's attention is very inconsistent, and at the worst of times, he is an outright player and serial cheater. But right now, for the moment, he's on Ashley's side, and that means that Phyllis is going to benefit from that. But the price of her freedom is her continuing to devote her energy to targeting Diane. And that's fine with Phyllis right now. But the big question is, what will Phyllis do if Christine goes to extremes to get proxy justice by punishing Summer Newman to the full extent of the law that she can? Already, Chance Chancellor warned Summer that it's very likely that she is going to be arrested for aiding and abetting her fugitive mother. But if Tucker has paid this EMT guy enough to paint a different picture, and if Michael can use that to get all the charges completely dropped against Phyllis, then it also seems like that should make the aiding and abetting charges non-existent. Because if Phyllis was really a victim and not a perpetrator, then she shouldn't have been a wanted woman, and then Summer should not be accused of aiding and abetting a fugitive if Phyllis never should have been considered one. So just in terms of the law, this situation could make it to where Christine gets no justice. However, that doesn't mean Christine isn't going to try it anyway. And, if she does, will Phyllis finally drop this vendetta against Diane and focus on protecting Summer Newman instead? That'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? All right, before we talk about one last point, if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Y&R spoilers, news, and more. And we'd love it if you clicked a like on this video while you're down there clicking stuff. All right, so right now, it sure feels like that Summer Newman has lost enough already. And it's all because of these, these reindeer games that Phyllis is playing with Diane, and a lot of people sympathize with it. I get that, but is revenge worth it if it hurts everybody else that you love? How important is your fixation on payback when it is hurting the people who care about you and that you say you care about? And it would be such a darn shame if Phyllis saw Summer behind bars because of this revenge plan. And, Summer is hurt and upset, and she just spotted Kyle looking cozy with Audra. She suspects something is going on there. And frankly, the last thing she needs in her life is to be in handcuffs and facing criminal charges too. Let's hope it doesn't go that way on Young the Restless, but if Phyllis gets what she wants and all these charges are dropped, Christine is going to turn that rage somewhere.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.